Joined now by Jonathan Davis, who's an economist and a wealth manager. Good morning, Jonathan. Are you confident that the government can get this right?
Well, I don't know what you mean by right. I think it's appropriate that we shouldn't hold on to banking assets. We being the taxpayer and the government, it should be in private hands. And I think it's appropriate that we should try and get as much for it as possible because we lost so much money already. For Osborne, however, to say that Lloyds is in a good state financially now, I think is total nonsense because, as everyone knows, something like 1 in 8 or more of households are in negative equity, which means that they owe more on their mortgage than is the value of their house. And of course, Lloyds and Halifax, which is part of the same group, was the biggest lender. And of course, these people still owe that money. So that is indication that there is still massive bad debts within the Lloyds organisation.
Is this what I've been hearing about, the good part of Lloyds and the bad part of Lloyds?
Well, there's a little good, but the majority of it is bad. Lloyds is Lloyds and Bank of Scotland. Now, Bank of Scotland was a totally, utterly reckless lender in the decade up to 2008. Halifax lent to anyone and everyone, Lloyds not so much. And of course, it was Halifax Bank of Scotland which went under, and Gordon Brown effectively told Lloyds to take them over. It is still in a dreadful state. No doubt the government is trying to get rid of it, put it into the private industry, which in one sense is good, but on the other sense, we're going to be shafted yet again. How's that going to work? Because after the share sale to the institutions, the financiers who are going to make a lot of money out of this, the next share sale will be to you and me, the public, as well as to the pension funds. And of course, it will be the next share sale where all the rubbish comes out into the open.
What else can he do? We can't keep sitting on this bank, can we?
Well, what he can do, not so much focus on the minutiae of an individual bank. We need the entire banking sector and the economy in the round. And what we need to do is clear out the weeds from the economy, the failed enterprises, and we need to let the flowers grow. When we have, as we have, in effect, a zero interest rate environment, and we're borrowing over £100 billion a year and effectively putting most of it into the banking system, we're not letting the economy right itself 5 years after the biggest economic and financial collapse in history. We need a couple of years of hard recession in order to have a generation of growth. Instead, and I know a lot of people will not agree with this, in effect, Osborne and the coalition are doing what the last lot did, and we are, in effect, in a 30-year depression because he's not letting the bad stuff get thrown out, and he's not letting the good stuff come forward.
Yesterday, Jonathan, we were talking on this show about bankers who are irresponsible, possibly facing prison sentences. That was a recommendation from the Commission on Banking Standards. Would that work?
I think, having spoken to legal experts on this, I think it's highly unlikely that we will to jail anyone for recklessness. And my own personal view is we shouldn't even try. And on top of that, I think this is yet more obfuscation and evasion by politicians to pretend that they're doing something. The focus should not be on reckless lending. The focus should be on fraudulent criminal activity. We know for a fact that there has been fraud and criminal activity within banking, LIBOR manipulation, money laundering in Mexico by HSBC. These are proven, and there are many other examples. And yet, how many bankers have been prosecuted for criminal activity? The answer is not one.
Jonathan, thank you very much indeed. Jonathan Davis, who is a financial expert and economist and wealth manager.